everybody, welcome back. We are going to talk about an entitled bridesmaid who took advantage of a kind and generous bride, who soon found out what karma is. I love karma. It's my favorite thing. She's a bitch, but we love her. Dear greedy bridesmaid, this is not your wedding. I'm already interested. I'm already so invested. This is a long one, so buckle up. Get ready. Strap yourself in. I think it's safe to post this because it's been more than a few years, but I firmly insist that this not get posted outside of Reddit. Well, too late. I mean, I don't know, you're putting it on the internet, so we're gonna laugh at it. This is about a now ex-friend who was invited as a bridesmaid. It's a long story, and I apologize for my English if it's bad. Names have been changed. To start, my friend Sarah was getting married, and she invited our friend group who mostly got together in college to become part of the bridal party. I was lucky enough to also be invited as a bridesmaid. The now ex-friend Leah was also invited to be one. Sarah was not own a country witch. Sarah not own a country rich, but she's still massively wealthy, and her marriage is to an equally, if not more, insanely rich family. She's also one of the nicest, sweetest people I know. None of our friend circle are anywhere close to her financial and social status, but she always makes sure to include us in her life along with her rich friends, because she said she connects with us more. We have the same hobbies and interests, is how we all met. Example, in one of Sarah's major birthday milestones, we were all invited to her multi-million worth celebration in a big event location. We all got a beautiful custom gown for free because we were part of the program for a dance routine. This is important later. All right, I'm gonna pack that away. Log it. Anyways, the point is, she's a wonderful person who loves us and gives us with an open hand. And so for her wedding, she invites our friend circle as part of the bridal entourage at her big wedding. What's more, all we literally had to do was be there when needed, because she and her fiance would be handling all costs.
Wow, unreal.
It was kind of an unbelievable surprise for us. I would love to be able to do that. That friggin' goals. Huge expense, but definitely a really, really nice thing to do, especially if it's a very expensive wedding. Our now ex-friend Leah was also invited as a bridal party member. We met her as part of our common interest group, and she was normal. She was all right, I always thought. But her entitlement started to show a little when Sarah would do things for us. Sarah used to offer to give us rides home when it was late, and Leah grew to expect it all the time after. She also came by often at Sarah's house, sometimes without warning. She would just arrive and expect to be welcome and stay all day or sleep over. Okay. Leah would also make comments during get-togethers, like a joke to Sarah like, is it your treat today? And get all happy when Sarah gives in to say yes. She usually does, even though the rest of us tell Sarah she didn't have to. It's already so much and we're like 3 paragraphs in. During that birthday I mentioned, Leah was super happy to get the free fancy gown too, and would tell everyone who'd listen how she sat in front of rich people and celebrities. During the holidays, Leah would always talk about how excited she is to receive Sarah's presents for us, because she always gives great presents, like jewelry, makeup, sometimes gadgets. In the group chat, she'd drop hints of, I wish I could have this for my birthday/Christmas with a picture of an expensive thing. Are you kidding me right now? Ooh, there were so many red flags. This is the thing about entitled friends. They will literally squeeze you dry, and then when you're tired of it, they will make it seem like it's your fault. They somehow conveniently forget all the nice things that you did for them. It was uncomfortable at times, but I didn't think it was too harmful or anything during that period because Sarah didn't mind or say anything about it. And I thought maybe it was just because Leah didn't have nice things like this growing up, so she was enjoying it. So when Leah was also a part of the bridal party, I didn't think there was anything unusual about that. But in the group chat, before Sarah even told us what she and her fiance had planned, Leah was already expecting to be part of the bridal party, thought it'd be the red carpet event of the year, and already was bragging to other people about being a part of it. And she even said, quote,
at the price of $0,
because she didn't expect to pay for anything or do anything. It was really stressful to see the expectant way she talked to Sarah about it as well. Leah wanted the whole bridal party to have a spa day at this expensive place so they could get beautiful for the big day. Then you pay for it. And was asking about Sarah's plans for bachelorette party and if we could fly to a different country and how many days it would be. The rest of us were kind of baffled because we thought the bachelorette party was supposed to be our job to hold for Sarah. It is. Especially after everything she's done for us. Apparently Leah expected it to come from Sarah too, like a vacation package.
Oh.
So I understand that, when rich people give, it's kind of hard to give back because, they have everything. But it doesn't mean that they don't appreciate the thought. A friend of mine's mom, super, super rich, never wants us to pay for anything because she's super rich and she doesn't see the point. So I made it a point of literally stealing the bill from her and paying on her birthday dinner because I didn't think it was fair for her to always do everything for other people and to just everybody just assume that they're just gonna have their bills covered, especially on something like a birthday. You have to try and force them to accept your generosity. If you can afford it. Obviously, not everybody can afford doing this, but I can, so it was important to me to do that. Leah warned everyone about her schedule and that it needed to be a date where she could get some days off from her job so she could be available. And she told Sarah she wanted to come help her pick a dress so she could give suggestions. Huh? Sarah said that she wasn't picking out a dress, a designer was making it bespoke for her, and Leah went all in, asking which designer it was. It's not a name like Chanel or Dior, but if I say the name, you may recognize the designer immediately.
What the style was gonna be, and that she could come into Sarah's fittings so she could supervise.
Maybe that was her way of offering help? I don't know. Around this point, some of us started to gently remind Leah that it's going to be Sarah's family who accompany her to this kind of thing, and that the dress will surely be beautiful and up to Sarah's wants, and that we have to plan the bachelorette party. Leah matter-of-factly said that Sarah could tell her family that she was coming too, that they all knew her, and that she was like Sarah's sister too.
Okay.
Leah added that she was happy to help with ideas for the bachelorette party, and evidently with full expectation that Sarah will pay for it. No, absolutely not. You know the kind of friends that are awesome friends? The friends that fight over the bill with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it's my turn. Put that credit card away! Love that. Leah was so lost in her own expectations that we opened a separate group chat without her because she wasn't listening to any of us. And apparently I wasn't the only one starting to worry that Leah was getting to be too much. The others pointed out Leah's actions even before this and started to notice a pattern of her being expectant of Sarah all the time. I mean, I know Sarah might have afforded it all without blinking, but Leah's words and actions felt very entitled. It doesn't matter that she's able to afford it. She's not a meal ticket, all right? She's a person. Honestly, people like this just make me not want to be generous, ever. I still am going to be, but it's still, there's the odd one that just makes you a little bit less generous, Leah didn't show up to our planning meetups. She was always saying she couldn't come, busy doing something else. That sounds familiar. So we stopped asking her and she didn't initiate contact. I'd known Sarah for the longest of our friends, so I was the only one communicating with her about fun stuff she might want to do for the bachelorette. And she was very happy about them. So some of us met Sarah and her sister, the maid of honor, to talk about plans. Sarah asked if we thought Leah was maybe acting a little weird. We were surprised because she never said anything about it before. And Sarah explained that Leah had been bombarding her with messages about this wedding, when the rest of us hadn't heard from Leah much at all, about all the things that were going to happen, asking all the details and what the bridal party gets to do. Why? And if Sarah didn't answer, she'd even come by Sarah's house and wait there until Sarah came home. Let's not bombard brides with incessant messages. They're busy enough already. Her sister Emma told us that Leah acted funny around her as well, always wanting to know what Emma got to wear and do. And some side comment to say was she found out that the maid of honor got to have a different dress from the bridesmaids. Right, because it concerned the dress that she was going to get out of it. How she got to sit at a nicer table, did a different thing at the ceremony, and more than once, apparently Leah made comments about knowing what a maid of honor does if Sarah needed an understudy of something for the maid of honor. It was just unbelievable. Yeah, this is the kind of behavior where people are trying a little too hard to be your friend. Maybe she really, really loved the bride. Maybe she really was trying to be her friend. But it kind of sounds like she's trying to be the friend because she wants a rich best friend who will pay for everything for her. Anyways, I don't know what Leah was actually doing all this time because she was always busy for us, but when we met with Sarah, we had a lot of planning done. Even talked about the dress each of us bridesmaid were gonna get. Each gets a different style of dress, but they were all part of the same theme and they were all bespoke. I could have cried because it easily would have been the most beautiful thing I'd ever worn in my life, and the fitting and rehearsal times days. Sarah seemed to feel a lot better talking to us because this seemed to be weighing on her for a while now. She started contacting me more, and we found out later, talking with Leah less. After one such very fun and productive day, the group chat imploded suddenly with Leah accusing us of backstabbing her. She saw that Sarah posted about going to a hyper expensive salon with her sister for skincare and hair dyeing, and Leah didn't know about it, because it's none of your business. And that we met up with Sarah earlier in the day and we didn't tell Leah about it on purpose. None of us knew Sarah was going to do that after our meetup, and certainly none of us went with her, and we told Leah that. And while we made her feel a little bit better, she said that she was mad that we didn't tell her we were meeting with Sarah. We told her we tried and she's never available, so we stopped asking. And she said she would have come if she knew Sarah would be there. Why? Because she's going to pay? Why is it only that she has to be there for you to be interested in it? What about all the meetings that concerned Sarah? Well, it got worse as it went on. Leah came to rehearsals. There's a whole program set up for ceremony and reception, and we actually needed to practice because it was like a stage performance. Very pretty for the wedding video. And Leah would get mad about where she was supposed to go walk and stand. She wanted to be at the head of the lines. She'd complain she wouldn't be seen if she stood next to our taller friend. She kind of whined when we got assigned our escorts among the groomsmen, and she didn't get paired up with this guy who was a bit famous as a celebrity. Stuff like that. Oh my goodness. It does kind of sound like she's treating this like her wedding. It's not your wedding. You're psycho. I was very worried about Sarah because she seemed to be getting stressed out. She hates confrontation and finds it uncomfortable with all of this from Leah. The rest of us tried to herd Leah along and to make a laugh out of some of her whining to lighten the mood. Fortunately, Sarah had a very scary and apparently very expensive wedding coordinator and choreographer who sort of bullied Leah to place during practices. Unfortunately, Leah would whine about this bullying to Sarah later, saying her coordinators were mean and how we, who were supposed to be her friends, were making fun of her, and we tried to make light of her complaints. Well, yeah, you've got a lot of them, so yeah. It came to a head during the fittings. Leah was busy, again, and would be late but swore she would come and demanded that we all wait for her, but we went on. We all enjoyed the fittings because the designer shop was amazing and the people were so nice and they adored Sarah. We got to fit into these beautiful dresses which clearly cost a fortune, and we couldn't stop thanking Sarah for all this. Sarah was so thoughtful, she had each of us wear these jeweled brooches to pin to the sash part of the dresses. While we were all fitted, we talked about bachelorette plans and Sarah was very excited about it. And she said her fiance also wanted to make sure us girls got pampered and get us that getaway Leah initially proposed. Leah arrived in the middle of all of this and she saw us, and I swear I've never seen her look so unhappy to see us. She smiled for Sarah, of course, and wanted to know where Leah's dress was. And oh my God, her face when she saw her dress. You'd think they'd offer her a potato sack, not a gorgeous designer gown. She wanted to know why hers was different and was reminded everyone's was different. She was scowling and criticizing the dress the whole time she was getting fitted, wanting alterations and wanting it to look more like Emma's. She even said it wasn't her color. The color's part of the wedding theme. And she wanted a different color. She wanted to know if we even got jewelry to go with the outfit. Oh, hell no. When she got given the brooch, the first thing out of her mouth was, "I'm keeping this, right?" And shocking as that was, because that was a pricey piece of jewelry right there, when Sarah went to give Emma this little tiara, which sort of was like a scaled down mini version of the tiara she as a bride would wear, Leah asked if she would be getting a crown too! Shut up! Stop! No, are you for real? Honey, sweetheart, baby girl. Oh my gosh, this just keeps getting worse and worse. I don't know what actually set Leah off. As far as I know, a group of us were just standing there cooing at ourselves in the mirror because we all looked so cute in our theme colors and pretty dresses and taking photos. I just know Emma made a joking comment about how no one is allowed to post anything yet and no one can show pictures. And Leah made a comment back that was along the lines of the dresses being obviously unfinished. Who would want to post them while they still looked like this? In front of the dressmakers. Sarah was very shocked and hurt by that because she had picked the styles for each of us which she thought we'd love and look our best in individually. Leah just exploded, saying that clearly Sarah was being scammed by the rest of us because Leah got the worst dress and the worst brooch. Just like Sarah's birthday event, we all had the same dress, and how we've all been backstabbing her because apparently we made sure she was never informed about these things so she could get saddled with the worst stuff. And now she's not even allowed to show people the dress and jewelry and how she has the worst spot, and we were all using Sarah. Oh. It's interesting that she said that. That we and I manipulated Sarah to make her stop talking to Leah and isolate her from us and to make Sarah give her the worst things out of the group. Wow. Introducing my friend. Her name is Projection. Sarah melted down and started crying. Oh, because none of that was true. She tried so hard to make everyone look nice, and she'd honestly given us so much. The rest of us ended up straight up screaming at Leah, as you should, babe, for this, and telling her she was ungrateful and greedy. And Leah just kept going, saying we were all crappy friends to her and always have been because we didn't want her to have nice things that she worked so hard for. Question mark. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're crazy. Worked so hard for, so you're admitting that your friendship is transactional. That really ended the fitting. We apologized millions of times to the people in the shop, and we told Leah
To leave.
but she refused to until she got her
Dress and jewelry and shoes because Sarah promised they were hers.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We called Sarah's fiance to come pick her up because she was crying so much from the stress. And when her fiance arrived and saw Sarah in such a state, he asked what happened, and Leah started yelling again, and he told her to... This is a guy that does not swear normally. He had heard from the groomsmen about how Leah acted in the rehearsals, and he'd heard some stuff from Sarah about her, and Emma had told him even more, and matter-of-factly, he said that he wanted Leah out of the wedding. Yeah, I think it might be time for that. Leah was so mad and insisted Sarah's the one who wants her at her wedding. I could barely believe she had the guts because she was talking to the groom here. Anyways, he just told her again, and that she was out of the wedding. So there, and he demanded that the shop throw her out. She didn't put up a fight about the dress and the jewelry, but she threatened to make a big social media post exposing all of us about abusing her. I was really terrified that she'd do it and ruin my friend's wedding and smear her reputation. And she did post. It was a friend's locked private post, so it wasn't public. So I imagine Sarah and her fiance's family threatened her with a lawsuit if she said things publicly. I'm not sure, but she was very much painting herself the victim and drumming up sympathy. As they do. All I know is none of us talked to Leah again, even when she tried to talk to us. Everything she said, especially when she was asking about the times and dates, she really thought she was still going. From mutual friends, we heard she kept making the nastiest locked posts every time Sarah would make a post about wedding prep, about our cheap bachelorette event, and even got really? Because, kind of sounds like you can't afford a nicer one. You can't even afford to contribute and you're calling her cheap? She got very salty when we went overseas together. She was silent when the wedding day happened. I've not tried to contact her since, though recently she is apparently orbiting around our extended friend group, probably trying to get back in. We would not let her talk to Sarah again. But I can assure you, Sarah and her husband had a wonderful, uneventful, fairy tale-like wedding beyond our wildest dreams and are very happy. Oh my God, that was a whirlwind. That was a long one, but I loved every moment. I think because it's very familiar, and which is sad to say because there's lots of people like this, but it's nice to know that when you encounter someone like Leah, that you're not crazy, you know? It's like, oh, well, maybe, you know, you make all these excuses for them for a really long time, and then after a while, you can't really make excuses for them anymore. And then when you set boundaries, they start to act like the person that they've been hiding from you. Probably for the best. Subscribe!